Hey everybody, this is Brian from Bearable Traders. I'm here in Portugal and taking a bit of a break here, but I'll still do a quick review on weekend and how the markets looked last week, maybe look ahead, and yeah, let's get down to it. All right, let's get started with the week in review. Sorry about the audio, probably not as great as you're used to because I'm out of the office, but let's make the best of it here. S&P finished and the Dow finished down on the week based on some disappointing earnings that we got out of some of those components in those indexes, and plus McDonald's dragged the indexes down due to this food contamination issue that they had. Qs managed to make a small gain, of course, based on those Tesla earnings that really surprised everybody to the upside. The other thing that happened really of note was the bond yields rose pretty significantly last week. This really gave some investors and traders some concern that the Fed rate cuts may not be as aggressive as everybody had hoped, and they might even start to stand pat here for a while. As the fears of inflation may be coming back here next year. But the S&P finally broke its longest winning streak of the year, still recorded a number of highs, over 47, I believe, for the whole year, which is a record. But finally got a pullback here on S&P. Overall, the indexes were down on the week, and you can see by how much. IWM, of course, taking the biggest hit because of the increase in interest rates primarily, but you can see here the consumer cyclicals. It's funny, it's risk on trade and communication services were small gainers on the week. Healthcare and industrials, biggest losers, of course. That was a result of the Dow going down, and 2-year was up. You can see here how much the treasuries have moved up over the last week, quite a bit. And the dollar, of course, was up because as yields go up, so does the dollar against other currencies. And Bitcoin sort of hanging around 67, 68,000. It's been pretty strong over the last couple of weeks. So that was your week in review. And before we move forward, as always, like to do a quick plug for my efforts here. These are my books on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. Very popular book, and Profiting as an Active Trader, a little bit more intensive look at how to swing trade. And then, of course, my latest book, How to Trade Options, both as far as day trading and swing trading or even position trading. So all those books there, if you want to check them out, they're on Amazon in all the different formats, audio, electronic, or hard copy. All right, let's go over some indexes here quickly. You can see here, this is the TLT, 20-year or long-term sort of treasury prices. You can see they're still dropping here, this moving average creating sort of an area of resistance. And we had another week where we had prices of the bonds dropping, which meant yields were going up, as I already mentioned. As far as the dollar goes, of course, we had a nice climb in the dollar. You can see that if I put up the two charts, you can see one going down, one going up there. So that's a pretty strong correlation, which is expected, of course. As yields go up, the dollar becomes much more attractive. And you can see here the Qs, we're still trying to get through this previous high back in July. We did have a nice move up here. We did try to punch out and just couldn't do it. So we're back down here, and we'll see what happens next week. A lot is going to depend, obviously, on how those earnings look. And you can see here, of course, we really tried to push up higher on the SPY to break out from this 586 area. Sort of couldn't do it. Seemed to be sort of consolidating. And again, same comment. Waiting sort of on those big names that are probably going to move the markets. Here's the Dow. The Dow really has broken an uptrend here. We've lost these moving averages. And again, that's probably the result of some of the earnings that came out last week that were not as great. And of course, the McDonald's issue didn't help. And IWM, again, we were looking like we were going to break out here, really came right back up to this July high and rejected. So again, we are kind of trading in a range here with the IWM, and we'll see where interest rates go from here. Bitcoin, you can see here, nice move up, still sort of hanging around there, 68,000. And that was your indexes for the week. All right, so a quick look at some positions from last week or prior that I've been trading. This TD stock, again, I'm just holding this, and I've got some calls that I sold to the upside to collect more premium. Again, if you want more information how that all works, you can check out my book. Options, I talk about covered calls, selling covered calls. Let's check out XLU now. XLU, I picked up this when it was back down here, and I've sold it. It looks like it's done a double top here, maybe rolling over. And again, the utilities sort of compete with the yields on the treasuries. So if the yields on the treasuries start going up, these look less attractive. So that's why that is dropping. ABCL, I'm still holding this one. I've got in around 260 there. I'm just waiting for it almost started looking like it was going to go through $3 there, pulled back, still holding that. OKLO, picked up that one really. I got around 10 bucks, really pretty happy with the way that worked out. Sold the rest last week. I'm out of that one. I believe, Crowd, I'm still holding on to this, although let's just see what it looks like here. Still, I've sold some of it and I'm just holding on to the rest of it. So sorry, crowd chart did not come up for some reason, so I got out of that. UVXY sold, but I'm looking at getting back into it here. I think we're going to get into a period of real volatility, so looking at that for possible trade on Monday. It really, usually Fridays it's kind of either flat or sells off, but Friday really popped up. And that is one of my potential trades for next week, although I won't be doing a lot of trading, and I won't even have a potentials list here because of that. But CMG, I'm probably going to bail on the rest of it this week. You can see here it's still bumping up against this 60 level. I was hoping it would break out, but CMG is reporting this week, and I generally, if I'm just doing a short-term swing trade, I don't like to usually hold these through earnings. If I were to, I'd probably use options. And if I was going to hold on to that position, I might use options to protect my position. So I might even look at that this week instead of just selling it. So regardless, I'll be taking some action before it reports, I believe, on Wednesday. And that's it. I'm not going to do any potentials. I just threw out there UVXY as an opportunity. And that's probably the only thing I'm going to look at this week. So let's get down and wrap things up here. All right, wrapping things up here. You can see where the Dow, the Qs, and the SPY are, and their various levels of support and resistance there. As far as economic events go this week, we have a pretty good slate of stuff coming up. A lot of employment data, ADP on Wednesday, and the unemployment report and wages on Friday. And of course, the Fed is pretty focused on these numbers right now, see what direction they're heading. We do have all the PCE data. Of course, this is the Fed's favored inflation gauge. And so we've got all that PCE data coming out Thursday morning before the market opens. So a lot of economic events this year that this week that could move the markets around. And talking about moving the markets around, a lot of earnings coming up this week. We've got a lot of the big names reporting, AMD, Google, Snap. You've got Microsoft, Meta here. Coin's been on a tear with Bitcoin coming up, and of course Amazon, Apple, Intel coming in Thursday after the close. So lots of things to create some volatility this week in the markets. So that's it, everybody. Saying goodbye from Portugal. You can join the Bearable Trader community, 8 o'clock. We'll be always starting the pre-market show live on YouTube as well as our members, and then trading the market open. So take care, everyone. Have a good week. I won't be around too much, but hope you have a good week. Bye for now.